Hi, I'm Jeannie Gaffigan. I'm a writer, producer, and mother of 5.
And I'm Jim Gaffigan. I'm a male model.
So last year I had a rather large brain tumor that was removed surgically that was compromising my cranial nerves, particularly my vagus nerve, and it affected my ability to swallow.
It didn't affect me. It did affect me.
I think that anytime there's a holiday like Thanksgiving or a meal with a lot of people at it, particularly around the holidays, or really any meal with Jim, there's a large quantity of food being eaten by a group of people who are talking. And one of the things that my swallowing disorder has prevented me from doing is talking and eating at the same time. So if someone asks me a question and I have food in my mouth, it takes me like 20 minutes to be able to answer them. So rather than just kind of enjoying the food, I have to really concentrate on getting it down my throat. One of the things that I wish that people understood about my swallowing disorder is that occasionally I'll get a small amount of water in my lungs because of my swallowing disorder, and I'll start choking. And the first thing that people automatically do is offer me water, which is like the worst possible thing I could have. So it's this really generous offer, but I can't accept it. And it's hard for me to explain while I'm choking why that wouldn't work. But at the same time, sometimes I'm at a party and there's past hors d'oeuvres and I forget I have a swallowing disorder. So I'll pop one in my mouth and realize I can't swallow it. So I can't really harp on people for not understanding my swallowing disorder when I forget it a lot myself.
Well, I think what I thought was so fascinating and ironically frustrating about living with someone who had dysphagia is instinctively people will send food as gifts when people are sick, but the irony is when someone has dysphagia, they can't necessarily eat some of that food, and some of it is, it's almost cruel to present the fact that, hey, we were delivered this lasagna, but unfortunately you can't eat it. And I think it was, you also become, I mean, it's rather cruel that Jeannie has to deal with dysphagia when she's married to someone who has like the opposite of dysphagia, like gluttonasia.
He can actually swallow an entire whole cookie, without chewing it.
It's a skill. But, it was also, I think the holidays are probably a little bit harder because, there is such an association, as you mentioned, of, hanging out in community along with food. But like, I remember also there was, when Jeannie first came home from the hospital, there was this effort that I had to take, not only to hide the fact that food was delivered to us, but also like dampen down the scent of dinner. So like she would be like starving and I'd be like, we gotta shut all the doors so that like in the bedroom she doesn't smell that we're eating pizza,
At this time I couldn't swallow at all and I was fed through a tube.
So like there is, you have to be mindful of the person with dysphagia, what they're dealing with, and then eating in private, which I also do. I mean, I eat in public and in private. I'm eating right now.
What gives me hope about the future is that the human spirit is so resilient, and you'll see it a lot in people who have had limbs amputated and they're running marathons with an artificial limb. You find a way to overcome your disabilities. The human spirit is so powerful and resilient. And I think that because of my swallowing problem, I've figured out a way around how I can still provide myself nourishment and even enjoy food by compensating in different ways for my disability.